Okay, here with Jacob Weber at the Earn Your Stripes Invitational, USSB. For you, we're kind of wrapping up the summer with the circuit. What do you feel like you've been able to show college coaches this summer?
I think obviously, my shooting is the thing that they're all going to look for. But as far as from last year to this year, I think one of the biggest things is being able to kind of get downhill and open up spots for other people as well. I think I have a good mid-range game, good post game, and I just think a big thing about me being a shooter is it's going to open up driving lanes for point guards, and it's going to make life easier on them as well.
Last time we spoke with you at Pro Insight was the Crossroads Camp in June 2024. So a little over a year. How do you feel like your game has really grown since then?
I think defensively and just overall, hustle and stuff has improved a lot. I think a big thing for me is, a lot of my shots are going to fall from the defensive end. If I can a biggest thing with me is just doing the little things, like being able to go out there, whether I'm hitting or not, be able to go out there and do all the little stuff that they're going to be looking for anyway, because everybody knows that I can shoot. So a big thing for me is going to be doing all the little stuff, and then obviously just keep getting better at shooting. You can never get good enough at it. So just being more consistent and having less streaky games and being able to kind of always shoot good. You're not going to hit 10 threes every game, but always be able to, shoot consistently.
You're going to LaLu next season. What kind of led into that decision?
I think a lot of it was just the recruiting. And then obviously, I want to play, against the best basketball talent that there is, and see where I kind of stack up against that. And I think it's another big thing is just it's going to get me ready for college. It's a boarding school, so I'm going to be out there by myself. So it's going to be like going to college early for a year. And when whatever program I end up committing to, I want to go in as a freshman, sophomore, and make an impact early on. So I think it's just going to really help with that, and then obviously getting my body getting stronger and eating better.
Who are some of the toughest matchups you faced in your AAU and high school career?
I played against, in Arizona, the biggest ones were probably Cameron Holmes, Elijah Williams, the House Twins, Cameron Williams. I played against him at Compton Magic. And I've played with a lot of those guys too. So it's honestly, it's kind of cool to see, what they're doing, because last time, I played with Cameron Williams in 7th and 8th grade. So just to see, how good he's doing, and Cameron Holmes, I played with him, played against him, all that stuff. So those would probably be some of the biggest names that I've played with and against. But it's really cool to see, they're doing their own thing also.
As you mentioned, you lived in Arizona for a while, up until recently. Talk about the different basketball styles between Arizona and Nebraska.
Arizona, it's a lot bigger. There's definitely more talent out there. But as far as Nebraska, I was really surprised on how hard everybody plays, and there's a lot of Division II schools out there, and there's a ton of good Division II athletes out there. It's just different though. They're just all big and strong, farmers' kids and stuff like that. Coming from Arizona, it's not like that. So, they don't care, if you have a big name or whatever, they're going to come out and play hard every time. So.
When did you feel like you could really be good at basketball and play at the next level?
Always. It's always been a thing for me, ever since kindergarten, first grade. It's always been my goal to play college and then go pro after. So it's cool to see how that's kind of panning out.
And so I guess having that vision from an early age, what type of sacrifices have you made over the years to, make that a reality?
Just honestly, the biggest sacrifice is just going in the gym and working constantly, not getting into trouble, whether it's, parties or any stuff. Not saying, don't go to any of them, but, just there's going to be some times where you're going to have to choose to go have fun or go to the gym and work out. And so you should, at least 80% of the time choose to go work out. So that's the biggest thing. You're going to miss out on, some high school, parties and stuff like that. But, where you want to end up going, you're going to have to make some of those sacrifices.
Sure. For you, what's the latest in terms of interest and offers from colleges?
Purdue and Cincinnati just offered me recently. Kentucky, Indiana have both reached out. Texas has reached out. And Arkansas has reached out. So those would be the latest. Those have all been within the last week. So hopefully we get some more.
Gotcha. Anybody you'd love to see get involved?
Obviously, the big names, Duke, Kansas, all those schools. But yeah, I want to go somewhere where I'm valued and somewhere where I feel like I can make an impact early on. So, I think the biggest thing is going to be fit for me. So really, if a program thinks that I fit, then I want them to reach out.
Gotcha. What are some things that you bring to a team off the floor?
I'm always going to be, high energy and that stuff. I think I bring a lot of, camaraderie in the locker room. And I, just going out, whether it's, eating dinner or hanging out with the guys, it's whatever it is. I love doing all that stuff. So just overall kind of, brotherhood outside of the sport. I think I'm going to bring a lot of that too.
A few more questions, but is there a time in your life where you feel like you battled adversity or had to go through adversity? And if so, how'd you get through it and what'd you learn from it?
For sure, there's always going to be, moments where you're going to have to go through some stuff. I think the biggest thing that whenever you are going through something, I think the biggest thing you can do is just, there's light at the end of the tunnel. You're going to end up getting through it. And when you do get through, you're going to end up being stronger and you're going to know what to do and what not to do the next time something like that comes around. So yeah, everybody's going through, something, whatever it is, but as long as, you can focus on, it's a moment in your life. So it might be a month, it might be a year, it might be 5 years, but whatever it is, at the end of the day, you can get through it. So that's the biggest thing for me, just always focus on, the future and not the past.
Okay. Biggest role models?
My dad, honestly, is probably my biggest role model. He played college at UNK, Division II school out in Nebraska. And then my mom, obviously, always too. I would probably just say them, honestly. I try to kind of, they've taught me well, so I try to, do a lot of the stuff that they do. And just go out, honestly, at the end of the day, it's just about respect, respecting everybody and not burning any bridges. So I would say my dad and my mom, for sure.
Do you have any college visits planned?
I don't have any planned right now. I'm setting one up with Purdue, and Creighton might not be another option. But as of right now, I'm kind of just seeing where some of these schools that have reached out, where those, if those turn into offers or whatever ends up happening with them, then I'll end up setting up some more.
In our last interview, you mentioned looking up to Michael Jordan and Kobe and those guys. Any other players over the past year that you've really gravitated towards?
Kevin Durant's always one that I kind of look up to. I don't know, he's just very, he focuses everything on basketball. He doesn't do much outside of it. And so I think, honestly, just being like him, just being able to kind of get your priorities right and what you need to focus on in order to make it. Because I think that's what he did. I think he just focused a lot on basketball and sacrificed a lot, like you said earlier. And so that's another one that I really look up to, for sure.
Any new hobbies you picked up over the past year?
I don't know if it's new, but I've been playing some 2K.
2K?
NCAA 26, yeah, all those. Some video games.
Awesome. How do you rank against your friends?
I'm the best.
I'm the
best at 2K, yeah, easily.
Any books, movies, TV shows you've been into?
I watch a lot of movies, honestly. I like, staying at my house and I just be watching a lot of movies. Good Will Hunting. I don't know, I'm kind of drawing a blank now, but I watch a lot of movies.
Is that your favorite movie? What are some of your favorite movies, I guess?
Good Will Hunting would be one. Beautiful Boy would be another one. I'm trying to think of the one with Robin Williams. What's his name? He's a teacher.
Oh, Dead Poets Society?
Yeah, Dead Poets Society is another one. Those would probably be three of the ones that I watch a lot. So.
Gotcha. If you could go out to dinner with anybody, past or present, who comes to mind?
LeBron James. Just because in my eyes he's the GOAT, so I just want to go see, kind of.
Okay. What type of stuff would you ask him?
I just ask him extra stuff, like what does it take to get there? Because obviously he's had to go through a lot of stuff, being highly known as a high school athlete. So And then, yeah, I just ask him, you know, what type of challenges he's went through and how he's had to push through that stuff, and get through it and still compete at the highest level at 40 years old. I asked him that too.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. How do you kind of manage external or internal pressure?
Honestly, I kind of try to use it as fuel. You know, pressure, you know, there's always going to be pressure. But I think the biggest thing is, you know, once you kind of see that first shot, I think once you get into the game, you know, it shouldn't really be there anymore. You know, there's going to be nerves, there's going to be stuff before the game. Once it starts, though, you know, honestly, it just goes back to how much you've worked out, how much you train. And you know your moves are going to be there. You know you're going to be able to get the shots that you want to get. And so once I get into the game, I don't think I'm as nervous, but there's always going to be nerves before the game and stuff. But honestly, just repetition and stuff, knowing that you're capable of making those shots and they're going to fall.
And we'll close it with this, but you know, when you're done hooping, like, what do you hope to be remembered for on and off the court?
Honestly, just respecting others. I want everybody to know, you know, everybody, whether you're an athlete or not an athlete, you know, everybody has a specific reason why they're here. I just, you know, a lot of people go through a lot of stuff, and everybody's different. You know, everybody here, everybody out there, whatever, everybody has their own story. And so just don't judge others based on, you know, what you don't know, because you don't know what they went through earlier that morning. You don't know what they went through later that night or anything. They might have just went through something really hard. So not judging others, and honestly just always staying true to yourself. You know, don't listen to what others are going to say about you, and just be yourself.
Thank you so much for the time, man.
Yeah, for sure.